What's up, everybody? It's Primeval bringing you another Wargame Red Dragon replay. Today I'm gonna be showing you a 10v10 that I was involved in recently. I'm gonna be playing my Soviet deck for the first time in this version of Wargame. You can see one of my allies, this guy, Steak Inc., surrenders right off the bat, so he doesn't actually do anything and we're down a player. 10v10s, let me just say, you're gonna encounter this kind of shenanigans with people leaving on both sides, but usually the side that's gonna be losing, or you know, it might seem that that side is losing in the early game, and then they quit. They go ahead and quit, and they leave you all of their units, which they might have positioned poorly or whatever, but it's a lot of strain on the remaining players. And today, my opponent, I actually talked to after this match, where is he? Hans the Friendly Zombie. He's a pretty cool dude, and some of his team end up leaving, not to spoil the match, but he gets quite a lot of their units, and my goal here was to take Oscar, take and hold Oscar, and well, you'll see how that works out. I had attrition in mind for this match, so I was constantly thinking, I'm going to kill more than I lose. That was my idea, my main tactic, and my game plan. Get some infantry in here, hold down Oscar, help out my allies with whatever goes on the right flank, seeing as that's where the game put me. So off the bat, I'm buying quite a lot of infantry and a few tanks that I'm going to send into the compound. It's all going to go straight into Oscar. That's my main objective. My ally here goes straight for Yankee, and you'll see I was thinking he was going to put a command vehicle in X-ray because he's right here. All of his stuff's right here. I thought he might micro that, but there was no communication between me or any of the other teammates, because it's a 10v10 and people kind of tend to do what they want sometimes without really talking about it. You can see they put down markers, but that's about it. That said, we do correct our mistakes, and my allies do help me out a lot, and I think we all kind of merge as a team. But it can be mixed in 10v10. You never know what you're going to get, as far as Sculpt might say. So with that in mind, I was planning for attrition, and you can see my opponents here actually spawn quite a lot of tanks and a lot of things that I was not expecting. I'm going to keep it in neutral so I can show you what the enemy are doing, and I'm only going to be showing you the right flank because I did not have any clue what's happening here. I was mainly focused on my point, and you'll see why I could not micro any other position of the battle. So first I am sending my main force here into Oscar. This guy puts up a marker, says he needs help. I'm sending one BMP2 with Motostrelski, and he's got some infantry here as well, but we're not actually putting a command unit here. So that was a mistake and a lack of communication from the beginning. I do notice there's no command vehicle going here, so I start saving up to bring one of those in shortly. Meanwhile, my opponents are sending a Huey Blackhawk. They capture Mike. I'm capturing Oscar and putting my command infantry into a building to try and keep them safe. And now coming down the road is a Bradley followed by a lot of anti-air Chaparrals and AMXs. A lot of my opponents were playing with NATO decks that were not specific, so you can see here Chieftains alongside Leopards and AMX 30s. They were playing with, I think the Free Guys or something were playing with non-nation specific decks, which give them all of the units in NATO with a small amount of point decrease. So here I'm microing my units. I'm trying to get my infantry in buildings, get my recon up front, my Spetsnaz. I unload them all in the same kind of area. I'm going to get my tanks into these tree lines and hopefully hold off the enemy force. And I was expecting in this battle to have an attack here, or to have a battle here, mainly with setting up lines of defense and the enemy doing the same. But you can see right now they have all of these tanks. My other opponent, this guy's name is Epic Scots Grey. He has K1A1s, which are Japanese versions of M1A1, or they're the main battle tank for Japan. Those things are really deadly, and he manages them really well. Talking about attrition, you see here they're running into some of the stuff that I'm moving up. My BMPs start opening up on them, but they really wreck. I'm not sure if they're veteran or not. I don't think they are. I think they're just basic, but they are really good tanks to have. My T-55s with the Bastion missile are firing, but with not any success. Meanwhile, Hans is moving the force he has around to my flank to flank me and come up. And you can see my T-55s all just get taken down. I had 3 of them there, and the amount of fire just put up by mainly these tanks. They had some Itos, TOW missiles, and some support vehicles. The guys put down a marker for help, so I think Hans is going to move in to respond to that. My Fagatoya are firing at the very poorly firing at the enemy tanks, and you can see he's putting down markers. Help push. He really wants this point. He really wanted to push on it. My Skrezhets here, which are my infantry vehicles, start firing on these Seals. Hans moves in his Leopards and Chieftains, which are a very tough tank, and they start just wrecking my stuff. All I have here now, they put a marker, ATGMs. All I have are Spetsnaz, Resvetka, and Multistraki, which get annihilated. NLRS is raining down on me. I have nowhere to go. They actually stun Hans' Leopards with that, but it's not a problem because they recover quite quickly. My Igla, and at this point, I'm asking for help. I did not expect this amount of a push on Oscar, my point that I was assigned. So I was like, holy shit, what do I do? Or, I was trying to indicate to my allies, hey guys, I could use a hand here if you got any spare tanks or something. So this guy really manages his units well. Epic Scots Grey really manages. He's got some planes coming in from one of their allies. They were organizing quite well. My Tor is firing at it, but without success. My infantry, my Iglas are quickly wiped out. I bring back my Tor, and then I start moving in some tanks. Meanwhile, you didn't see this, but I got some command infantry in to capture this point because it was mainly ignored. I moved my BMP-2 here, which brought those infantry, and it fires some ATGMs at the anti-air, and actually I think it takes out this Chaparral, so that's a very good trade. Right now I just lost my command infantry, and let's see if I get this Chaparral. I do indeed, so that's a good trade. I lose this shortly. I bring up a Me-24P to suppress the enemy vehicles that are moving up. I didn't realize how much anti-air. He brings in a Fighting Falcon to bomb out my BMP-2. He says ATGMs, which is his favorite phrase. My allies sent some MiGs and some bombers to help me out because they notice this flank is being lost, and that's not good for our team at all. My enemies also have this guy Aaron and Salty have some infantry running around on these mountains and some choppers coming in, and you'll see what they do with that. They're firing MLRS all over the place. One of those could have hit my command infantry and killed them. I did not put them in the building because of how late we captured this point. So that might have been a mistake from me, but at the same time, my ally didn't even deploy his infantry. He was probably busy managing. I move up some T-62, which are my cheapest tanks for 30 points. My Me-24 gets some sight on these AMX-13s, but they quickly